Captain of Industry Update 2. We're playing on a custom map I've created that is supposed to be Paris. I know some of you think I'm a terrible artist, but yeah, this is supposed to be Paris. Ile de la Cité over here, right? Ile Saint-Louis, and the two reefs on each side. We have actually a bridge over there. We're starting to make a bridge here, and we have done quite a bit of progress. So if you're just joining today, I do suggest, checking the video description below for the whole series. It's only 10 episodes. You're gonna catch up very quick. But otherwise, let's dive in. And to be honest, actually, a few years have passed since the end of the last episode. I wanted to make a bit of progress, and we have made a bit of progress. Nothing extraordinary, I'm going to explain it all, of course. So first things first, given that we were starting to not have that many trees, I mean, there's no more trees over here, no more trees there, and it was starting to get low over here, I have built a forester. So we have over here a forestry control tower. This is, next to your actual control tower. Always forget where they are. Over here, it's next to the mine control tower. You have the forestry one, right? Instead of putting, in this one, you put some excavators. In this one over here, you're going to put a tree planter. I'll show you in a second how to actually make a tree planter. And then this tree planter obviously will need some tree sampling. Alright, sapling, which is why I've put over here a farm. Now you may be wondering why over here. That was basically the only flat place I had, which was full of soil, because here you cannot put a farm, on this place there. If I turn around, I cannot put a farm because some ground is not farmable, right? This is rocks, right? Same over here. I could have put it maybe over here. No, not even. There is some places that are not farmable. So yeah, this was the only place basically that I could put it. So we're doing saplings over here, and then those saplings are going all the way there, and the forester is using them to make some trees, right? It's planting some trees. Some of them, as you can see, haven't been planted long time ago. They've just been planted. Some have been planted a while back, so they are actually grown. Now what you can do is then obviously assign also a tree harvester to this forest, and the tree harvester will harvest depending on this option. If you say no cut, it will never harvest. If you say 100%, it will only harvest when the tree has reached full maturity. But if you put 40%, you will get obviously less wood per tree. Instead of 20, you'll get 8, but they will cut a lot shorter. It will be more rapid. So this is 12 years, this is only 5.7, right? So that's something you just have to consider. But yeah, we have over here a new forest, and obviously I could create also another one there, etc. But that's working well. And while we're here, I can also show you that with this, I've started to use advanced logistic. So we have advanced logistic. We've unlocked it quite a while back. It was over here, just after the gold parts, but we didn't really use it so far. So advanced logistic, I have made videos in the past to explain, but basically what it means, it is that if you look over here, I have this checked, so only the assign will be used. What this means is that if you look over here, export routes, this is basically the tree harvester over here. Where can they deliver? Well, they can only deliver there in this one here. They cannot deliver anywhere else. They will not go, even if this is full and there is space over here, they will not go there. Now the reason you want to do this is mainly to make sure that these guys don't go far. They stay here and they don't drive for the whole map. You prefer that they wait here for this to be empty rather than going all the way into the map. And similarly, I'm saying the only input you can have, the only import, is from this one here, which is the tree sapling storage that we have there. That once again is to avoid that our guys are going to go all the way over there to get some saplings. So that can definitely be useful, and we will use it more and more into our mines. First thing we did, and so with this hopefully we will not run out of wood. Then second, I have done a lot more battles, they're all a bit the same. this is definitely not the most interesting part of Captain of Industry, so that's why I didn't really show you. Now you may be wondering, why do I still have some of these that we can explore? Well, this is because they are too far. You know, my ship has a number of fuel, right? There's a tank that is of 80, and with this 80 it can only go so far. So to be able to unlock these ones over here, we will have to unlock a new one, which is, yeah, this one, the ship engine level 2, right? This will enable us to go further. While doing this, of course, we have discovered quite a few new things. In particular, we've discovered, you know, a new settlement over here. We've discovered a way to get ships if we want, right? By the way, in terms of ship, I have also repaired one more, and we have discovered also some mines, right? We had the sulfur over here. We have a coal one, which is quite an important one because coal could be a problem for us. So I'm going to deliver the cargo there. You know, we have 200 red parts, so let's go. My ship is going to go there. We have found another oil rig over there, and lastly a quartz mine in this side. So some good discoveries. And obviously, while this was happening, we also did a lot of research, and we found in the last episode the wheat, so we did it. We are actually going to do the corn very soon, and then also the soybean. We did many over here. Now all of these, I'm not gonna say they're not important. They obviously will provide some benefits, but they are not critical in a way. Many of them, for example, the cargo depot level 2, I'm not really using the cargo depot right now, so having a better one is not gonna change much. Chemical plan, you know, it unlocks the paper. I don't really need paper yet. I will need it when we want to do research level 3. Or, you know, large generators. Well, I'm not really using generators burning diesel into electricity, so I don't really need it. Now, talking about those generators though, I do want to highlight that I have blueprinted 2 over here, and now that you know, we are starting the episode and we're gonna build them. That way, if we have a problem, we can use them, right? Like, they can help us. I have also put them over here because this is where we are making our fluid storage, right? We are not making fluid storage diesel, sorry, we're not making diesel over here anymore. So that is why in this case we will actually delete these. I don't want them over here anymore because we really, you know, don't want to have to rely on these guys so far away. Instead, we're gonna potentially rely, if we have a problem, on these guys there. Now, we have also upgraded this one to fuel station level 2, which can have, you know, more basically trucks, more diesel there. But again, this is a lot of those research I'm not gonna really use right now. There are 2 that we're gonna use right away. The first one is the sulfur processing. Instead of dropping the sour water into the water and create a lot of pollution, we're going to use a bit of steam and the sour water to make sulfur, ammonia and water. Which means that first of all, we are polluting less. Second, we're using less water, so that's great. And then third, we're creating both sulfur and ammonia. The ammonia will be useful in the future to make fertilizer or potentially hydrogen and many other things. Unfortunately, we haven't unlocked that yet, so for now we have to burn it. So let's actually start building the whole thing, because this is also the problem I'm having there. There's basically nowhere to drop my sour water right now, because I told them to go this side. So yes, and that's definitely something to keep in mind. Wait, something is wrong here. Is it the wrong side? I think it was, but anyway. So let's build all of this. We're going to bring some steam and we're going to bring the sour water. Then we're gonna have 2 of these because this is taking 36 and one of these making 18. So this is already 36 and so we need one more. What's the problem over here? We haven't built this, okay. Now, by the way, obviously we don't want this to work, right? This is production, low production, so it's not gonna work, but just in case it's there. So yes, we have those two, right? They're taking the steam and they're taking the sour water. And with this, they're gonna make the sulfur at level 0. They're gonna make the ammonia that we're gonna burn, unfortunately. And they're gonna make water over here, which we're going to do two things with. So let's build actually the next part there. Okay, so what are we doing over here? Well, basically we're gonna take the sulfur and water, right? Because remember, we're creating some water to make some acid. So we have again two of these to hopefully not have problems, because this is 12. But at the same time, I have put here a balancer to say first send the sulfur here, but if this is full, you can send it to the burner, right? We maybe should have two burners to be very safe. So let me actually do that. We're going to let's just delete that one quickly. So obviously this would, oh no, I need to press F to not have this problem. So yeah, obviously burning it would not be great for the environment. It would be pollution, but it's still better than sending it into the sea. So now we can delete this. And by the way, that also means we don't really have to be next to the sea anymore with this, right? So that's another pretty cool aspect. So we are making, we are polluting less, and we're making this acid. Now you may be wondering why I wanted to do acid, and it's actually linked to the second research that's a really good one, which is next to it. It's the copper refinement level 2, where we're gonna have a new recipe in our copper electrolysis. So let me actually build just one of these so I can show you live. Here it is. So instead of having this basic one where we're taking 24 and some water to make only 19.5 copper, basically losing some copper along the way, we're going to take 24 and 6, but in this case acid, and we're gonna have 24 copper. So there's no loss at all at this point. That's a really useful one in my opinion. And that's a good, time to also start thinking about making new, bigger copper and iron refinement. Just before we talk about this though, my ship has delivered over here. So this has been built. It's not yet live. Let's go to time 3 speed so we can see it. We will pause it right now. It's not like we really need it. And it is paused by default, so that's great. Why is this? It is. So it's similar to the oil rig, right? Right now it starts at level 2, so it's only producing 54. It has a number of worker and unity needed. We can upgrade it if we want, and we'll probably do it in the future, but for now that's a start. The other one I did want to upgrade was over here, the oil rig, to get it to level 6, because level 6 would be basically the equivalent of something like this. And slowly but surely we are decreasing, right? So we have to keep that in mind for the future. By the way, the copper is slowly but surely, gotten to the end there. So I'm also starting to dig. And to be able to dig further, what we've done is we've put a second layer of retaining walls that are now at this, minus, minus 3 level, right? That enables you to start digging further. To be able to do this though, I have, dump a lot of resources over here. This used to be the sea. You may remember it used to be the sea. I dump a lot of resources to make it, straight like this. And therefore to also have the wall basically go straight. So that way we can definitely have a ramp that goes a bit further. We are also dumping a lot on this side. It's becoming definitely a lot flatter, like all of this over here now is completely flat. all of this also, like this used to be the sea for sure. We are doing this part there. We have also, used our excavator to dig completely. This used to be at level 3, 4, 5. Now it's not. We're continuing to do this part, but yeah, we're getting, making definitely some progress over here to make this all flat. And why am I doing this? Well, because I want this to become now a new part of our factory, and in particular a new refinement of the raw materials. So you may have seen, this was what we've been using: copper and iron, and steel level 1. I have now built or prepared, let's say, right? It's mine. I didn't steal them, I made them, but made them, over here, 3 blueprints for level, what I call level 2, for copper, iron, and steel. Why is it level 2? Well, first of all, because it's way bigger, but more importantly, because it takes into account, some of these new things. For example, if we look over here at this one, at the copper one, which actually I think I'm gonna put it over to, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, I think we're gonna put the copper actually on this side for now, over here. So this is the copper one, where I have basically enabled both water and acid. So what we're gonna do is similarly, right, there is a pipe balancer where we're saying the priority is to use acid to make sure we don't, we lose as little as possible of this copper. But if there's no acid, you can use the water. Similarly over here, I've said you can use the copper scrapped that we're gonna get from the recycling. But if you don't, and there's this pipe balancer there, that's the priority. But if you don't have any, you can use the normal copper. And it's the same, for the steel and iron, right? Let me turn them around so that they are aligned. I'm gonna leave a bit of space in between. Good. So that's the same, right? We're using iron and iron scraps. And then last but not least, we're gonna have the steel. That looks a bit different because there's a bit more. There's not enough space, but we're starting to drop over here so we can build it in the future. But yeah, so what is happening? I mean, basically we have those resources, as I said, coming from here. We have the copper or iron at level 0, and we have the coal at level 1. That's what's over here, right? So it goes into all of those furnaces. We have 8 of them, right, to make the molten copper or iron and the exhaust. And in this case over here, we're also making slag. The slag goes here in the middle and goes at level 2 and 3. Now, why 2 and 3 is because I wanted to avoid using belt level 2. This can be done without belt level 2. These ones are just level 1. Why? Well, in case you have a low number of red parts or you don't even have red parts unlocked, you can still use basically this blueprint. If you want to use red parts, basically what you can do is this can also go at level 2 instead of going at level 3. And then all the way over here, right, it's going to then drop into this loose storage with an empty order to make sure that this doesn't clog up. So then, we're making the molten. The molten goes on the side, right? This one will go on that side. This one will go on this side. We have 12 and 12. Then it goes in the middle in terms of, the product. In this case, the impure copper. So we have 48 that's going to go over here, then being split into those two. And then we have the pipe, of acid and water over here dropping. We have also another pipe over here, which is actually a pipe level 2, but this one is construction part level 2, right? So that's fine. You should have done. This is the same as these. So with this, we can take all of the exhaust that we're making, right? All of this exhaust will go onto this pipe, and then we'll go all the way over here. We have a pipe balancer in case in the future we can do something with this exhaust. Spoiler alert, we'll be able to sort of recycle this exhaust. But in the meantime, I can't really do anything with it, so we're just sending it into this smoke tower. And this way we also have only one smoke tower instead of many over here. that's basically it for the copper, right? So it's the same building as before, but a couple of specificities and more advanced things like this pipe balancer here and this balancer there. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments if you have any questions or thoughts. And then similarly for the iron, right, we have exactly the same level 0, level 1, 2, and 3. It goes there, right, then it goes over here, and this one is basically finished, so then it can go directly into the unit storage. Again, we have 8, so very aligned. And also the reason why I made it like this is you can easily sort of put a second one like this next to it, where you just need to have belts that are bigger, right? You just need to have belts that are stronger, and then you can do it, no problem. Now the idea is to put them over here because we're gonna be able to start soon all of these mountains, and this way it's also very close, for these guys to deliver over here. This is also where I can start using a bit more these advanced logistics, right? Because I can say that these mines over here should only deliver for this, versus I can create new mines there and say those mines should only deliver there, right? We will need though a couple more of ore sorting, right, to make this happen. It's good, by the way, that we have some reserves of loose of rock and sand, so we're good, on the concrete slab. That's gonna help. I have, by the way, continued to upgrade these ones, right? So we have even more parts than before. Again, a few years have passed, so we've done a few more research, in particular a lot around farming, as well as the final research of level 2, because now this is research lab level 3. To go further, we need to make research lab level 3. So obviously that's going to be a big focus for the next episode. But more importantly, I wanted to show you that we're also using one more thing with our sulfur over here. This is to make rubber, right? We're making rubber into this storage there. That's helping. I may actually build a second one in terms of storage, because I see that, this is basically full right now. This is also because we haven't started to use the acid. And by the way, the other thing over here is that the fuel is actually not that high. I think it is for two reasons. The first one is I used to send a lot of fuel all the way over here to make some rubber. We're gonna stop making this rubber here. This was polluting and everything. This is in particular why using sulfur is better, because it's not polluting. It does use a bit more diesel, but it also makes more rubber, right? So in terms of ratio, it's actually better. So as I was saying, we're gonna delete this. Then I'm also going to delete this one. It is very far from where we're making diesel. So it's like you're consuming diesel to then use diesel. I think what we're gonna do instead is put it somewhere over here, because this way it's very close to where a lot of my trucks are moving. Right, it's close to the bridge too. So let's do this. We're gonna move it there. Small storage. Here it is. So this will be diesel. You can get some. Okay, build this. Good. And let's delete this whole thing there. We're gonna empty this one with Unity. Perfect. Okay, so that way we should also have one space for one more. What is the rubber is not gone yet. Sorry. It is. Okay, so I think, yes, we should have space for one more farm as soon as we need it. So that's good. That's good. And we may also want to move these ones a bit somewhere else in the future. And then as a teaser for the next episode, look at this amazing new terraforming that we made. As there's a big space, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below what do you think we're going to be using this for. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. It took obviously quite a lot of excavators to make this happen, right? Where went from +2 to -3, which is exactly 5 difference. So that's perfect for this wall. And yeah, that's gonna help definitely in the next episode to do something new that we haven't done before in this series or even the previous one. So I hope you're excited for this. Smash the like button and I hope to see you next time.